Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip. Come at you back with the Big Brother Weekend Review, Season 20, Week 5 edition. This week was something else, man. This week was something else. This may have been one of the better weeks in the Big Brother house I have ever seen. So when we last left off, Sam had won HOA, and she knew what she was going to do, and she was not going to let anybody talk her out of it. And then so she ends up nominating Haley and Caitlyn, which they had pretty much knew because they didn't have their relationship. They didn't talk a lot with their relationship. But boy, oh boy, what she said, how she talked about them not being self-respecting themselves, and how they were disrespecting the men of this house. Oh my, it was fantastic. Oh, and then that caused a lot of craziness and things like that. And they're around crying and everything, and then oh my, and then to have Caitlyn and Haley on the block playing for the veto, and not only does Cecil get chosen, he just fucking wins. He then fucking wins. I mean, when the fees came back, and I see him up there with the power of veto hanging around his chest. Oh, oh my God! I was just cracking my ass up. I mean, really, what in the world is this dude thinking? And then watch as soon as you get Caitlyn's doing her little spiel and talking the baby talking, and you think it's and then with the crying and everything, and oh my God, just the craziness that happened over time. And so then we get to the veto ceremony. Fessy uses it on Haley, which, by the way, he had every right to do because Haley chose him. So I don't care what he said. He was saying he said things to both so that he could play because he was worried about getting put up as well. Which, by the way, let me actually go back and say that because the night that she goes and does all of this, right, and talks about them being self-respectable women and everything like that. Now they didn't show this on television, but if you watch this live on the feeds or live on Big Brother, on Big Brother After Dark, I believe it was on Big Brother After Dark too. She's all snuggled up in his arm, rubbing his shoulder and rubbing all over him and making. Oh my! I mean, if you could really say that what she did to Fessy that night is basically what Caitlyn's been doing and Haley has been doing, and you can really call her a hypocrite if you wanted to, but it was just some fantastic stuff. So Fessy was the veto, used the veto on Haley, and where they had to go, and you know when it happened, she had said that she was gonna out her power at that point in time, and she was gonna do it, and it had seemed that it might have been Rockstar, but from what we saw, like that day before, the day before, because they do it on Monday, they do it on Mondays, and then It was Sunday, and I believe that's what it was. I believe it was that Sunday. Like they were out there blowing, making bubbles, and her and Rockstar were they were wrapping stuff around each other and doing all types of stuff. So I get the feeling, and it didn't show nothing, but I get the feeling they're doing all of that. She kind of thought, well, I can't do Rockstar now. So she wanted to do JC because she thought Jay-Z could help Jay-Z. Jay-Z can help her. Jay-Z probably don't even know about it. But JC, was her friend in the show and everything like that. And she, she started talking about, I'm thinking about I want to do JC. And then JC said, Sam, I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you should do that. And by the way she's talking, Tyler has this look in his face and saying, oh my goodness, she's gonna put me up. She's gonna put me up. And then she goes, okay, then I'll have to go with Rockstar. And Rockstar goes on the block. And Tyler's expression, he's like, oh my God. all types of greatness, man. And then the campaigning began between Rockstar and Haley. And again, listen, Haley's talking about not Haley. I apologize. Although let me say this about Haley. There was this moment where her and Fessy had a moment after that in the storage room where they kind of hugged and everything. So, and then I also saw on Twitter where I guess that was still Sunday night where he was kind of sort of being rapey, maybe. I mean, control. Maybe not rape. Maybe that's a bad way to say it. I apologize, but he was definitely. I think maybe more or less blackmail. It's kind of like maybe the way the way to go about it, because he was telling her that if I use this on you, I'm gonna need I kind of want you to stop being with the other guys, and and she really, and so she got what you talking about? So I I said so, and that he's got this crush on her, so whatever it was, so yeah, so then they have this moment, and of course Caitlyn's heartbroken, and she's saying, and then we get 3 nonstop days of campaigning, and boy, this was unbelievable, the stuff that went down, because at one point, and actually let me go a little bit back too before I talk about. Let me go back a little bit too before the night of. I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but there was a point, because of the way the votes figured out, 6-5, voting out Winston. There was a little bit of anger on Bailey's part, and on Fessel's part, and on Haley's part of not being in the loop on things. And for the 3rd consecutive week, they had kind of, sort of, it could have been blindsided. They said that it was gonna be one way, and it ended up being another one. Now, in the 2nd week, the way they kind of see themselves being blindsided, because they knew that Swaggy was going home, but they figured it was 7-5. When it turned to be 8-4, that's what and Scotty threw out that vote, and that's looks like it's gonna come back to haunt him. So we'll talk about that in a second. So there's been some anger about that. So all week, without question, Bailey in the have-not room was getting closer to Rachel and Casey, and she was really staunch about not saying anything. She was really staunch about being, go ahead and do what you do, and then let me know about it, and I'll vote the way with you. I'll vote with the House. And there was a lot of that. I'll vote with the House. There was a lot of that, and for a minute, Casey and Rachel, in my opinion, they gave too much information. They gave too much information. And at one point I said to myself, I put this on Twitter, I said, I'm going to be so disappointed in Bayley if she does not go back and turn this around somehow into getting a 5-5 split. And I think there could have been a possibility of that happening, but I think three major things went down. I think one is that I think Caitlyn, again, I put this out on Twitter, I like it. I know the saying is shoot yourself in the foot, but I said shoot yourself in the mouth. And that's what she did. She shot herself in the mouth because she couldn't shut up. She just couldn't. She couldn't because she had a lot of people, Rachel, Angela, Tyler, all trying to get everybody else on board into keeping her and taking her Rockstar. And she was a bigger threat than Rockstar, keeping her in this house. And then trying to get Haley and Fessy and possibly Scotty to vote her out, and then have her get HOH and then go after those three. Right? That was kind of the way that they were trying to do. But she just couldn't shut up. She spewed too much information. She got on everybody's nerves. And then what happened? And then I think Sam made it very clear she didn't want to break a tie. And she even came up to the point where she was talking about, she was going to put 2 dots in the cup. And both dots were going to be the color that Caitlyn's color was going to be. So, I mean, and then 3 came to stuff about, I think, this Power app, too. This Power app. And the paranoia around all of these Power apps and paranoia all around what it is. Because somehow JC, for some reason, he's very worried about Swaggy coming back in his house. And he thinks that there's a battle back coming. We all know that there isn't. At least not pre-jury. Maybe once we get post-jury, the first 4-5 evicted jurors will have an opportunity to come back in the game. Maybe that would happen, especially after having one last night. We'll get to that in a minute as well. But but let's talk the paranoia around this Sam's app, and she's not explaining it very well to begin with. And I don't know if that's because she's country and the accent, or she maybe not be able to have the articulation to do so, or that was just her own thing. She wanted to keep everybody in the dark about it really was, or she just don't give a shit. I'm starting to really think that's what it is. She really just don't give a shit. I mean, really, the fact that she said, "This is my HOH room," do not come up here, leave me the fuck alone. You see all of this shit. I kind of think that maybe she just like, she's had enough of Big Brother. Yeah, this isn't what she signed up for. So she had enough of it. So yeah, and that's how I think all of those things combined just turned it around, and it ended up being Caitlyn is probably going to go. And last night, that's what happened. There was some late Wednesday night into Thursday, quote unquote early morning. I get so weird about saying that too, because it's 1:30 in the morning. It's 1:30 at night. But technically, it's also it's the morning and it's the next day. So I don't know, but it's whatever. But there's some late night stuff with Haley and Fessy telling some stuff that Caitlyn had said and something like that. So a lot of things that are going on with that. So, and then it just turned out to be another vote was thrown. For a minute now, the fees were off they were off for about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. at some point during the day. I actually thought they were, stop it. And then it came on for about another hour, and then they went back off for good until the HOH came back. For the video, it went off for the live show, and then the HOH came back. So when JC was the first one, and he said to vote Rockstar, and there was a thought that did something happen, and then now after that, the vote went the way it should have been. Looked like it was going to revote, but the fact that there was another vote, again, JC threw that vote, and then and now here is where it's coming to bite Scotty in the ass. Because Scotty has told people, and he's told people that yes, he was the one that did the vote for Swaggy, because he says he was trying to trend and get the power out, and he did it in his own shirt, and he was talking a whole lot of stuff about my boy Swaggy this, my boy Swaggy that, and then he did what he did. So so yeah, I kind of, so now it's come back to bite him. Now his JC is throwing that out, and I'm not sure exactly the reason JC threw that out. I don't know if he threw that to put it onto Scotty, or to put it on Tyler or someone else. But whatever he did, it has worked, because now everybody in that house seems to believe that Scotty, did that vote. Yeah, I stay usually. This show is really screwing with my sleeping pattern. So last night I basically been up since all last night, because I watched each and every one of Bailey, who was the new head of household. She won a competition last night. I try to, and I'll get to Caitlyn stuff in a minute as well. But I just have to say this: I went through watched each and every one of her 101s, trying to figure out where her head was at with Scotty in this game. And Bailey, and from what I can see, Bailey is definitely trying to put herself in that position of being directly in the middle of both sides. She has this side with the remaining Faute members, and Scotty and that's a fucking horrible name. Scotty and Rockstar and Haley and Fessy. She's trying to be with them. But there's also no question that she's also trying to get with Angela and Casey and Rachel in particular for this quote-unquote girls thing, which is really starting to piss me off. Especially when you get to the point of talking about voting, voting for at the end in the final two, voting not based on who played the best game, but just because just because of you were born, happen to be born with ovaries and not testicles. Fuck. So anyway, she's trying to ride that fine line. And on one hand, I can totally agree, because she can only be loyal to herself, which is good. She, and really, in all instances, she really should not have even told Fessel that she had that. She won the app. She really should have told Fessel, because one of the things she keeps saying is that nobody's going to pick me first. Nobody's going to pick me over someone else. She keeps saying that, and Fessel was the main one. Fessel was going to choose Haley 100 out of 100 times over Bailey. And Bailey's power has nothing. Bailey's power, she cannot be saved. So even if next week she decides to use it, and let's say it's someone like Brett who wins it, and she decides to use it to put up other people, right? Or put other people on the block. She still can get backdoored. And guess what? If the if it's if it's Fessel, if it's Haley's up there, if she decides to put Haley up there for some reason to make people thinking or not, Fessel's still gonna take down Haley. So I mean, I don't get it. But anyway, but if she was trying, so and she's right down in the middle, so she's selling everything. I think the one thing that I did find interesting was that she talked to Scotty and she really wanted to know, if Scotty did the vote. He said no. So she's doing all of this stuff about, if you do this, I'm gonna cut you, and she's doing all of this, and she makes him swear on the Bible. He swears on the Bible that he's got loyalty to her and to their group members, and then he swears on the Bible that he didn't do the vote. So when Scotty asks, who do you think did the vote? He says Rachel. When she has her when Bailey has her one-on-one with Casey, she gives Casey that information, and Casey at some point is going to tell Rachel today, without question. That is going to happen. She's going to tell Rachel that information. So that is going to be something interesting to figure out. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Brett and JC on the block. There's a possibility that Rachel could go up, being the pawn to try to get out Brett. She and I don't think she's going to do anything with Scotty. I don't think that, I think the way she looks at it right now, and I think she sees is that no matter in what situation, whether it's Brett and JC or Brett and Rachel, if she were to put up Scotty as a replacement nominee, Scotty would go home because many people in that house do not trust him because of this swaggy thing, and now because of now JC's hinky vote, which now looks to have been that looks to be Scotty's downfall in this game. That's going to be his downfall without question. I was wondering why he did it. Because that's just and I just so whatever about that. So we're gonna have to see where this week goes. We still get I thought that maybe she would want to put on Tyler, but she said that she's gonna give Tyler a week off because he's down about Caitlyn. She said she couldn't, he was crying, and maybe possibly, he is kind of hurt that he had to that he had to vote her out because she was not only was she a shield, but she was probably going to be with Fessy, going to Haley. She was probably going to be Tyler's number one, and Tyler's kind of ride or die, so to speak. But that's not going to happen. But we'll have to see on Sunday, what Tyler says about that, if he was putting on the waterworks for that. So I don't think he's going to use his app this week. So yeah, and it's going to be very interesting. Now let's quickly turn back to last night and the eviction. Caitlyn was, like I said, was evicted 9-1. The Power app came up and showed up, and then she had a competition to show to get back in the house. And the competition looked to be very easy. We always think it looked to be very easy, but we don't know the pressure of the game, how it looked to be. There's been some stuff on Twitter that's saying that CBS did not think that that nobody because there's a lot of people. There have been a lot of spoilers on Twitter. One guy on Twitter has been, or one person I should say, maybe it's a girl, you never know, but one person has been spoiling stuff on Twitter, and he has been saying that the bonus life game to get back in the house was always going to be that puzzle. Whoever it was, if it was Sam first week, it was going to be a thing of a puzzle of Sam to do. If it was Swaggy, it's going to be a picture of Swaggy. If it was Winston, it's going to be a puzzle of Winston. And so it was a puzzle of Caitlyn, and you had to, move the pieces from outside of the house, as I said, to inside the house, rebuild the puzzle piece exactly the way it was. Right? That's how you're supposed to be. And it looks like where she got caught up on was that there was a puzzle piece where, like I said, it was of her, and it was like one leg was shorter than the other, and it was almost like there was a puzzle piece that was like her knee/thigh area that she needed to put down in the thing, and she was either, whether it was she just couldn't focus, or she was focused, or she just didn't see it right, or didn't realize maybe what she was doing. I don't know, but she couldn't get it right, and at one point she even sits down and starts to cry, and that takes up about 5 to 10 seconds. So I mean, it was a total choke job by Caitlyn on this, and it is, so yeah, it's a total choke job on that. So she decided not to do, and they even said that, again, they said, there was said on Twitter, there was a lot of Twitter said that CBS was so certain that somebody was coming back in the house, they wasn't even ready. They had used up the entire show. They didn't have any chairs out on stage. They were not ready. They knew that somebody was going to do that. And what it looks like, some people on Twitter said this. What it looks like they might have done is they may have had somebody do that puzzle, over and over again, and then and they figured out in what time could you take, what time could you take to put that puzzle together, and what they probably figured out that it could take 90 seconds to put that puzzle together. So then, once they figured that out, 1 minute and 30 seconds, they added another minute onto that, just to be sure. Add another minute to add for that pressure of it being trying to get back in the house and live TV and everything like that, and it still was a failure, major failure. So, I mean, what else can you say? Yeah. So this week has been impressive. Now we got to see what's going to happen this week. Once again, it looks to be right now, Brett and JC are on the block. Bayley might even want, both are threats, but she might even want JC to go home before Brett. It could be Rachel. Rachel has a pawn. In either situation, whether it's Brett and JC or Brett and Rachel, I think there's a big possibility that if the power of veto is used, the person going on the block could be Scotty, and in that case, Scotty will go home. So Bayley has said that Shady doesn't really trust her. He doesn't really trust Scotty too much because of the stuff he's doing, but he's not coming after me. And I think that is a great idea. That is totally such a a great way to look at it. I want because she would really be almost be doing the same thing that Caitlyn did. Caitlyn didn't need to go after Swaggy, but she did. And there's no reason for her to, go after Scotty, especially when the other people will go after Scotty. And it's the same, same thing, So I would. My prediction would be later on today we'll find out Brett and JC were the nominees. So we will really have to see, and so something may change, but that would be my guess. Wow, this is us again a fantastic. So we will see. Again, no powers will be used this week, nothing like that. So, although I would say this, I would, if I was Bailey, I almost would be tempted to see if I could use the power this week. I would use the power this week, and then I would nominate. I would actually be tempted to use the power this week, nominate, because Fessy made a point about the three girls, Angela, Casey, and Rachel, not have been nominated, right? So I would be tempted to use the app to nominate two of those girls, and then have that work up, and then have it come up, and then that thing would sum up the power app, and then and then have her say, my HOH has just been ruined. My HOH has just been ruined by this fucking power app. And they put on the waterworks and everything. And then guess what? Bam. you get so many people, and then you can blame it on JC. You can blame it on Brett. You can blame it on Scotty. I would be very tempted to do that if I was Bailey, but she's right in keeping it as long as she can. She really did. She should keep it as long as she can, especially with this week, because there's a possibility, especially if it's Brett or JC, and they stay on the block. Brett or JC win HOH next week. I think Bailey might really be their target, and that would be the best week probably to then go ahead, use it, and then get out Scotty then, if you're really not very trusting of Scotty. So that would be interesting to see. So yeah, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys thought. What did you guys think of this past week? What did you guys think last night with Caitlyn and all of her issues? And were you stupid enough to stay up, the entire night to watch all of these 101s and things like that? So I'm not gonna do that again. I'm really not. I am so close to almost like canceling the feed so that I can just go to fucking sleep, at the right time. But yeah, whatever. Probably won't do that. Not until Rachel is gone, some point, some form of fashion. But yeah. So yeah, yeah. Put your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Trip signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. I am out.